Good morning, Mount Olive Church and friends of Mount Olive Church. Andrew Short here with you on this Saturday. Hopefully, you're having a good weekend so far. Share my screen here. Been a long week here, seems like, at school. So, definitely glad to be starting the weekend here and looking forward to it and all that. I'm sure you are too. Hopefully, you've had a good week. But going to do a quick devotion here this morning on Pastor's message there from last Sunday. Great message. Love being in Joshua. Love the message series so far. Sure we will love it as it goes on. But want to talk about faithfulness for just a minute here. Just a quick devotion this morning on this Saturday. And want to talk about the faithfulness of God. Our faithfulness sometimes can waver. I know that we can't count on sometimes other humans, just as people can't count on me sometimes. There are things that come up and things don't work out, and sometimes maybe we're not the most faithful of people to come through in certain situations, but we can certainly count on our God. He's proved that time and time again, from the very first page of Genesis and way before that, all the way through the end of the book to Revelation, and in our lives now, and always will. So going to look in Joshua chapter 1 here, where Pastor was at on Sunday. Verse 5 says, "There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses." God talking here. "So I will be with thee." God saying, "I will be with thee. I will be with thee, Joshua. I'll be with thee, Andrew. I'll be with thee, Jody. I'll be with thee. I will not fail thee, and I will not forsake thee." That's a promise. When God makes a promise, how many of us know that he's going to come through? It may not be in the time frame we would want, or in the exact way maybe that we would want, but he's going to come through. He's faithful to not fail us and not forsake us. So verse 6 says, "Be strong and of a good courage," over and over and over again, right? If you were there Sunday, or if you listened online, you heard that kind of theme over and over. Be strong and of a good courage, God says to Joshua. "For unto this people shall thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them." Got me to thinking, and Matthew 28:20 was kind of the first verse that came to mind here, kind of along the same lines as that, promises that God has made and has came through with, whether that's throughout the Bible or, sometimes a little more personal in our own lives, right? Things that we knew God was promising us, but maybe in that moment, it just seemed like it was never going to happen, right? Sometimes 5 minutes seems like a million years to us, right? But he says in Matthew 28 and verse 20 here, the Great Commission, and sometimes I think we skip over this part of it. We go and we teach people to observe all things whatsoever I've commanded you, and we go to all the world. But he says, and lo, this is Jesus promising, lo, I am with you always. That's a promise. You can count on that. You can mark that down. If Andrew says he's going to be with you, or I'm going to go with you to a ball game, there might be something come up and maybe I don't get to go. Jesus promises you he's going to be with you always. He's going to be with you always, even until the end of the world. That's a great reminder. If we really, really sit down and kind of meditate on that today, that's a great reminder of how good our God is, of how good Jesus has been to us, that he's always, always, always with us. And just a couple more verses. I got to kind of searching into this thought of always being with us and the promise that he's made us, the faithfulness that he has. And all these verses kept coming up, and you can dig deeper if you want to. But here's Deuteronomy 4:31. "For the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee." He won't, right? Even sometimes when we feel like he has, we look back and we realize he didn't. He was there the whole time, right? "Neither destroy thee nor forget thy covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto thee." Isaiah 41:10. "Fear thou not, for I am with thee," right? God is with us. He tells us he's with us, then he's with us, right? "Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee." There's no maybe in that, is there? I will strengthen thee. I will help thee. "Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." That is a very straightforward verse. There is no maybes or ifs or conditional statements there in Isaiah 41:10. He says, "I will strengthen you. I will help you." He will help us, right? We got to count on that. We got to remind ourselves sometimes that God is faithful. He always has been. He always will be. No matter where you're at in a struggle or a situation, he is faithful. Hebrews 13:5, "Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. And if he says it, it's going to come true, right? So kind of ran across, I love this song. I've heard multiple versions in the last few years. There was a young lady that came and sang this song when we were in the gym, when we did a backyard a couple years back. And man, it was awesome. Maybe my favorite version I've ever heard of this song. Can't remember her name, can't remember exactly where she was even from, but she was a teenager and sang it, and man, it was awesome. Heard this same song this week. CeCe Winans, I believe is her name, and man, it was awesome. Also, I've heard other versions, but the lyrics is what gets me. Goodness of God. So take this with you if you don't get anything else out of this. The goodness of God, His faithfulness says, "I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me." Man, I could wake up every day and really think about the lyrics of this song. For your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. Good, bad, otherwise, I messed up, somebody else messed up, whatever. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. It's a good reminder, right? We should be singing. I should be singing of the goodness of God no matter what my days look like. And here's the part I like here, bolded. And all my life you have been faithful. He has. He has. Even when I wasn't. Even in my life, I've been unfaithful to God probably as much as I've been faithful to Him. But He has always, always, always been faithful to me, and I'm thankful for that. And all my life, you have been so, so good. He sure has. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. So a reminder for me, if nobody else, a reminder for me this morning that God is faithful, that He is good. He always will be. He says He'll be there for me, and He will. That's a great reminder this morning. Take that with you this week as you go, that God is with you, He's for you, and He is going to be there all the way through. He'll see you all the way through. So hopefully, guys, you got something out of that. Hopefully you will join us tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, for service at 11 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you then. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you.